Hello everyone, and a very, very warm welcome to you from Swift Current in Canada and the Ford World Women's Curling Championship 2016. We're in the Canadian province of Saskatchewan in southwestern Canada. It's known for its grassland and its prairies, and we also have the river, which the city of Swift Current is named after. It's a part of the world which is known for its curling. Community really into their sport in this part of the world. Around 17,000 of a population, and they're all heading here to the credit union Iplex. We've had a very, very busy week at this arena. Superb round robin action, and now we really are at the business end of the competition, if you like. It's the playoffs. And first up, we will have 1 versus 2. The team's just being introduced to a packed crowd here. 2,800 people are squeezed into this arena, and we're all set for an absolutely fantastic game between these two. Switzerland marching in first. A mouth-watering prospect, bearing in mind what we've seen of Switzerland, the 2014 champions, world champions, and of course Japan. A bit of a surprise package this week. So plenty of support for both teams inside here. Here are the players.
Second, Franziska Kaufmann. Third, Irene Jolie. And fifth, Rina Pecha. And please welcome to the ice, Team Japan.
And here comes Team Japan. What a fantastic week they've had here. We've enjoyed every single minute. And we've enjoyed watching them too. So here's their lineup. So there are the two lineups. We're all set for a fascinating game. I'm Alison Walker, and with me Luke Coley. We'll be bringing you live commentary on the whole game. And we're really looking forward to this one, Luke, aren't we?
It's going to be lots of fun. Been a pleasure to see a lot of the Japanese games this week. They are a very fun, animated team to watch play. And Switzerland, what else can you say? World champions from 2014. They were in that position. Here's a look at those standings after round robin play. Switzerland, Japan, Russia, and Canada all qualifying. Scotland just on the outside looking in, along with the U.S. in the second half of the standings. Korea, Denmark at 5 and 6, then Sweden, Germany, Finland, and Italy round out the field. As those 4 teams that qualified shapes up, it leads us into the playoff picture.
Yeah, that can be a little bit confusing for people. Just explain to us, because Japan get 2 bites at the cherry, if you like, don't they?
Absolutely. We use the page playoff format where the top 2 teams play in that 1 versus 2 game we'll see tonight. Winner goes directly to the final. The loser drops to the semifinal to play the winner of tomorrow's 3 versus 4 Russia-Canada. The loser of the semifinal and the 3-4 game will play for bronze. Winner of the semifinal and the 1-2 go for the gold and the World Championship title, which 2 consecutive years has gone to Switzerland.
Yep, they've been very, very successful in recent years. Not just this team, but the other team in Switzerland. The other main women's team led by Alina Patz last year, world champions. Can these young women do it again? Well, we shall see.
It's an interesting matchup because Japan doesn't match up as well against a Swiss team. They lost to in round robin. That was a 7-4 Swiss win. But Switzerland hits very well. They play a little more defensive. They're not as aggressive. Japan has taken advantage of the aggressive teams that haven't quite put their rock in the perfect spot. And that's the difference. We'll see how things shape up.
And there's also the experience factor. Swiss team hugely experienced compared to these young women from Japan. I wonder how much that will influence.
Well, it's a very good point. Japan will have the red stones. Switzerland gets the hammer because they beat them in round robin play. They have matched their stones. About the experience, there is a slight advantage at the world stage being the single sheet out there. This Japanese team, very young, fearless, hasn't been in this situation at the Worlds. Nothing to lose, and we'll have some fun. We're underway.
And how much will that round robin game and that loss play in the minds of Japan?
I think it's so long ago that Japan has actually played 5 games since, and they'll look back at it a little bit, but it's a game where they played so well of late. Yesterday, they knew they were taking on Canada and Scotland, 2 teams they were tied with going in. They didn't just win them. They won them handily and frustrated those 2 teams to put them in this position.
And in fact, they might be able to use that previous game against Switzerland and play it differently because they'll learn from it. I'm sure that JD and the coaching staff involved there will have informed them pretty well about how do we beat the Swiss. So here's the lead player for Japan, Yurika Yoshida, 22-year-old. She's a student. She plays at Tokoro Curling Club. She's in Katami, Hokkaido in northern Japan. She's been such a steady player this week, hasn't she, Luke?
Yes, this entire Japan team, they're top among the percentage. Draws down in front. Would love to try and get in a position where they can get the hammer and stay close in the game, get the hammer early, and then convert. They were far and away the best team of scoring multiple points with the hammer. 50% of the time scoring 2 or more points, which is an unbelievable clip for 11 games. The other part is they only gave up 2 steals the entire event.
Yep. Stats have been great for them, but this is the game that matters now. And this is Christine Urik. Lives in Lucerne in Switzerland. Plays out of Flims Curling Club.
Well, top part of the house. Questioning who is shot, and I think it's Japan's shot in the back.
And there's a real buzz inside the arena here. Real anticipation at this one. People so close to the action. Yumi Suzuki, second player for Japan, 24 years old. She normally works in an office. Well, this is very different from working in an office, that's for sure.
Well, quiet like an office right now, but I'm sure that might change at the first crack of what will be many outstanding shots in this game. Both these seconds right atop the numbers throughout the week, both at 86%.
This is Franziska Kaufmann. Played very well this week. From Grindelwald in Switzerland.
Well, the missed double peel opens up that top stone and a chance for a hit and roll for this Japanese side. Get a little flip underneath and lie two. And they've been solid all week long in managing stones. And with the different style of sweeping coming in, they'll try and utilize that to their advantage. Managing stones, throwing the proper weight is the key. Well, there they lose it a little bit. As ends up curling out the other side. Lies two though.
And I wonder also that new style of there's a rules of play, just to remind you, it's now 8 ends, a minimum that they play, and there's still the 30-minute thinking time and the 160-second timeout. The new way of sweeping, they seem to have embraced that, and it's worked really well for them.
At first they didn't actually, talking with the team, they didn't want to do that, but realized that coming into this position, they needed to. And there's an example where you see the switch of the broom. And then Irene Shori jumping to the other side. So each team will have a broom with the different styles and pads that they use in the fabric that'll cause it to scratch a little bit and create a bit more curl or hold the line. The other one will be just your traditional style that'll be able to drag the stone a little bit further. So see lots of switching of brooms.
All done to improve the play. Nicely played by Yoshida. I don't think I've ever seen her without a smile on her face.
No, well, she hasn't missed many shots this entire week. Lowest game of the week was an 81%. Highest, she curled a perfect game at 100%.
Irene Shori. It's in Zurich in Switzerland. 4 years on this team, part of that gold medal winning team a couple of years ago.
This will be one of those shots where we'll really see the Japanese sweeping come into play if they try and play this hit. Figuring out how much is available, whether to play the hit or the freeze. And here's that hit. They'll try and manage this stone with the sweeping, get the curl at the end.
And you see the on and off with the brushes.
While trying to go over the face of that one. Guess they were talking which way to make that hit. Rather than try and go underneath and risk the jam, they roll away and actually out of the rings. So opportunity for Switzerland trying to generate offense with the hammer.
Okay.
Here's another good example of the sweeping. Shori, Kaufman watches.
Well, that one well short for Irene Shori and overlaps those guards.
A word of apology from her there. Suki Fujisawa, a Japanese skip, 24-year-old. originally from Abashiri City in Japan, but also lives in the northern island of Hokkaido, which is the hotbed of curling in Japan. See what the sweeping is doing now. Look at it coming round.
Well, not far enough. It ends up coming up top 12 foot. They don't get in. That's actually second shot in the back. But leave it in a position that even if Switzerland makes this perfect come around, it's going to leave a tap or a slash takeout.
Just need that to come just a little bit further. Binia Felcher, gold medal winning skip in Canada a couple of years ago. Films in Switzerland. It's a son and a daughter, but manages to get all their training in, and that's a nice shot.
I think have gotten that just far enough to be shot stone. So something for Team Japan to think about here. Japan red, Switzerland yellow. Well, Fujisawa has been the top skip percentage-wise throughout the week. 86%, and in 11 games, she was a +8, so 8 times curling 5% or better than her opponent. I'll slash it on. Hoping maybe to stick it and not roll so far in the open. But in a position to get the force now. Well, there is a bit of separation of those back two. I don't think I have to throw real big weight to try and pick that one and just risk missing that back one.
Too risky.
Well, there's some risk to it, but at the same time, with that ice, it looks like is going to play a little quieter. Just take her one in the first end. Lost the 1-2 game 2 years ago when they won the World Championship title.
Last stone of the first end here in this playoff game, 1 versus 2. What's she going to end up with? Secures her one. And Switzerland get on the board. So played one end here. And it's Japan 0, Switzerland 1.
Is it A, group
So we're into end number 2. In this playoff, 1 versus 2, Japan against Switzerland. Japan starting off well. Switzerland just picking up 1 shot in that first end. So what can we expect here? They're going to go for it, aren't they?
Well, Switzerland, you see, put that first stone in. I think Japan, who's been good all week, only 2 steals against, so put up the corner guard and go about trying to continue to convert. And I'll use the word hammer efficiency. They're 50%. That was tops among any team in the field.
When they've had the hammer.
Compared to Switzerland, who is at 30%, which is still a good number, but 20% better. I want this to stop out in front of the rings. Of course, the 4 rock free guard zone rule in play. If that would have stopped in the white paint, couldn't be removed. Now it can be.
Warte, gar nicht. Frenzy, Putzer, Tier. Oh, Putzer, Tier. 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 Sehr schön.
Well, an early mistake by the Japanese lead. Now we'll play the hit and roll. 2 differences of these 2 countries in their results at the Worlds. Japan has never medaled. Switzerland has 5 World Championship titles. They won in 79, then in 83, and then 3 of the last 4 years.
The current success is the one that really tells the story. They know how to win titles.
I'll try and roll this one off to the side.
Crowd appreciating that one. Nicely done.
Well, trying the run back, and that'll actually just get it out of the rings, but leave that stone just tight to the house. See the difference that 1 stone sliding in makes? But they'll give this an effort to try and draw around it. Stand corrected. They put the corner guard out in front, and see what Switzerland will do.
Let's have a look at the bench. There's Al Moore, Swiss coach. Very well respected figure in the game, isn't he?
Yeah, he's really done a nice job with this team and working under the high performance manager Armin Harder, just really developing this Swiss program to not just be Binja Felcher in one team. Last year, Alina Patz. As we look at JD Lind.
He's done a pretty good job too.
He has. He's really worked with these girls, and the big thing was with the difference in style of sweeping and different products being used and effect that it has on the ice, and saying, let's use it, let's try and use it to our advantage. Let's adapt to the style that's out there. And they've went in and committed 100%.
That was a struggle, that one, though. There's a full bench.
Alternates as well in behind. Japan never medaling at a world championship. Was close in 2008, losing the bronze medal game to Switzerland. Mari Motohashi, the alternate, was also the alternate that year.
Yep, they were within touching distance. Horrible position to finish fourth.
Ja. Ja, vroeg.
This is Stunavaireen Shori. You hear that she did have a bit of a tumble in practice just before we started, but she is all right, as you can see.
Well, a little surprised with the call that they end up going in, not peeling the guard. It's such a long guard. You can get around it, and it actually plays into Japan's hands, leaving the guard in play.
Oh, just skims past the other red.
Well, Satsuki Fujisawa has actually been feeling a little under the weather as well. So having a little bit of a break here and a win in this one and have tomorrow off and not play till the final.
That would suit her.
May actually work in her favor as she is thinking just about focusing on the shot, not realizing the situation that they're in. Both these shots made perfectly, and just shows you, especially with that long guard, how easy they make it look. It's not an easy shot, but they make it look easy to get around and make that shot. Past the guard now, use the sweeping. Playing in the top part of the house. Japan with the hammer here in the second. Always a different atmosphere when you're just the one game out on the ice.
Yep, all the crowd are watching you. There's no hiding place.
Well, gets it right on the nose. Where this one is, you could actually probably cross it and roll in. I don't think nose hit will get shot, will be in the rings. I think they'll have to roll in order to do that. Well, they don't get the roll. It'll actually be out of the rings. See how the Swiss play this and look just outside of that paint.
She looked at it, a long, hard look, but it is still outside.
Felcher will play the come around. Can't afford to play this too tight of ice. So if you touch that, it would be in. Try and go around it, but a little cautiously going around it.
kunnen jullie met een thema aan. Genau, ja. Tia, richting squad. Tia, hoe fast zijn
Die line is over.
Oh, Tia. Oh! Kijk gar niet. Schuttelingen.
This one well past the front and deep in the rings.
Swiss fans showing their appreciation.
We've heard and seen the Swiss fans, the group cheering them on all week long.
Very vocal support for the Swiss team.
Yeah, it could be one that they could draw after that stone back 12-foot, try and tap it back, but electing to just draw for their one, not try and go for too risky. And one of the rare times going to be forced to take a single point with the hammer.
Last stone of this second end to pull level. The time you see there is the hog-to-hog timing.
They need a piece of the 8-foot. Well, Yumi Suzuki is trying to go on this.
It is a struggle. Have
Very
they made it?
close.
Have
I
they
don't
made it?
think they did. Come up short to be just their third steal all week. And it is.
That's them. Let's see it. It's a bit of a break for Team Switzerland. Definitely had the upper hand throughout that end. I'm amazed they actually got it as far as they did. So not the best of starts for Japan here. After the first two ends, Japan 0, Switzerland 2. You're watching live coverage from the Ford World Women's Curling Championship 2016. We're in the Credit Union Iplex in Swift Current, Saskatchewan in Canada. This is the 1 versus 2 playoff game between Japan and Switzerland. And Switzerland certainly seem to have adjusted better in this game thus far, Luke.
Well, it's kind of fitting the song was called Shake It Off in between ends, because Japan's going to try and shake off that steal and convert with the hammer and a shot that she made all week long. So maybe a little bit of nerves there. Throwing against one. Had the guard slide in as well last end, so it wasn't a solid second end from Team Japan. Have to look at it. Down two. We got the hammer. Got to try and get our deuce, which they've done throughout the week. But Swiss, nice little start. They're a good front-running team.
Swiss just doing the basics well.
ガードもうちょい近くてもいい？これぐらい？もうちょい近くてもいい？そうだ、それでも悪くないよ。
Zwei. Nur zwei. Fest, richtig ist gut. Ist sicher nur zwei. Fest, richtig ist gut. Fest, ist gut, richtig ist gut. Komm, zieh. Gut so. Quick.
With the first stone deep, they wanted to basically defend that by bringing the next one just to the top part of the house. Slides just in. Swiss will try and keep things very simple here.
Well, it's paid off in the first couple of ends for them.
Well, they would love to have this one stick around. There's a big difference to that one staying around or rolling out. It rolls out, Switzerland can go peel the corner, bring play into the house. Now, go and play the hit on that wide one and a rollout, then opens that corner guard play up. Oh, very nice. Numbers may not look as good as quite what Japan did, but this Swiss team does a lot of things well. They execute.
Well, they wouldn't have got to this point if they hadn't been doing things like that.
The Swiss team likes to keep things close. You look at the round robin, and it was Switzerland playing 13 more ends than Japan did in 11 game round robin. Well, over curls, but over curls almost a little behind that yellow.
So not a bad outcome there. Franziska Kaufmann awaiting her instructions from her skip.
War die gut, die Länge?
Ja, einfach nicht kürzer, ja. Ein bisschen mehr! Ja, so gut, Länge. Zieh! Wow! Gut, zieh! Ho!
I'll pass her own. Wow. Just had to get past that outside one.
Well played, she'll be pleased with that. Crowd liked it too.
Well, Franziska's been a key for this team throughout the week. Just some stellar play.
That was a whisker past both, wasn't it?
Was not a big hole to get through. Kaufmann impressed.
She liked it.
いいんだけ
Good shot.
振りだけ振りしてよっよらいよよっよっよっよっ頑張れゆりよっよっよっウェイトはいいよ頑張れ頑張れ頑張れ頑張れ頑張れよっよっよっよっよっよっよっよっよっよっよっよっよっよっ
That just over curled. It does leave one in play, but it's third shot. They're hoping to be second shot.
A few Japan supporters out there with the Japanese flags.
Noch. Okay.
I'm sure the crowd will have their favourites here.
Mitte 2. Ist gut 2. Wie gut, Länge? Mehr. Mit Doktor länger. 12, 8. 8.
Ja, lauf bis 8
12. Jetzt geht viel. 2. Ziehen. Gerne zu viel. Oh, oh. Gerne zu viel.
Well, trying to guard up that shot stone, but it will over curl. Well, I think this makes the most sense. I thought I saw the indication of slashing it, but this hit roll away. Get that one out of the forefoot. Janami Yoshida. Well, did they get past?
That was another close one.
Probably wanted to get by with a little more room, so they rolled away, but they lie shot. An important score in now for Japan.
So, なんかね、最初はね、ずっとまっすぐなんだよね。
Gut, hier. Fest. Fest. Alles. Fest. Oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. Hier.
Oh, very nice. Roll right back underneath.
Switzerland seem to be coping with the conditions a little bit better in Japan. Good shot.
So now it'll be the run back. Try and pick this out. If it's a little wide, you could try and get off the other yellow. The second shot stone. All just trying to keep that forefoot open. Just a little off, and we haven't seen a lot. And their 9-2 record, this Japanese team, with these mistakes. Switzerland lying 2 still.
Japan just haven't quite got going yet. That's partly down to good Swiss play too.
Ja, ist auch okay. Ich denke, auch wenn da bist, ist es nicht so schlimm. Weißt du, so alles so halb. Also, wo wollen wir lieber? Nur da? Und dann lassen wir sie da spielen, oder was? Ist unser Ziel? Denn da? Hä? Sie spielt schon da, oder? Ich will, glaube eher da. Nachher ist sie dann da mit plötzlich so einem Haufen drinnen, oder? Je nachdem kann sie da noch so überreichen. Aber, also eben dann... Da wäre eigentlich wie du gewesen. Ja, das wäre super, oder? Und sonst gehen wir nur auf 2. Ja. Wie viel? Aussen 8? Nein, weniger, ja.
What's she thinking here? Look, what's her dilemma?
They're worried about leaving the run of that red one. They want to choke that off, but don't want to leave that stone on the button wide open also. did want to leave the straight hit, but they couldn't really go because of the line. So sits out in front.
スチールがないようにだったら2個切りたいけど2個は切れないもんね。ああ、切れるんじゃない？ああ、いける。
Wondering if they can make a double peel and actually catch one of those stones in the house.
どっちターンから行けばいいんだ？こっちか。ちょっと薄すぎたらあれだもん。薄いとこれこっちになっちゃうから。厚め？半分入れちゃう。
Well, this was the second and the final stone. Satsuki Fujisawa looking to get her one, and right out of her hand, Yumi Suzuki on it to try and get it far enough. And despite a sweep almost the entire way, it comes up a fraction short and a steal, and just the third steal of the week. And now this the mess they're facing right now, facing two and a run back. Peel, the most important part right now. Well, catch the side one. They'll lose both those reds out the side. So the Swiss will still lie two. Little unfortunate that they ended up rolling both those reds out that way. Thought maybe one might.
She's definitely a bit off in this game, isn't she?
Well, just a little bit as it hangs on, but will not come into play. Swiss, Binja Felcher guard this one up.
Weisser wäre super, oder gar ganz in 12, aber nicht mehr, weil sonst kannst du schon wieder draufkommen. Und dann
Ja. Was hast du lieber? Schon richtig. Das 2 ist okay, wenn es richtig stimmt. Oder dort schießen.
Ja, ist auch okay, wir sind schon second. Von dem her. Aber wenn es geht, probieren wir für richtig her in 12. Putzen schon, aber nicht fest nehmen, weil dann bleibt es so gerade.
Well, not just thinking force now, steal a good position with a nice guard. Just goes top 12, and I think there's a chance here to play a quiet tap, but don't have to move it very far for Japan to get on the board. But a challenging shot for the Japanese skip.
You can see a fair bit of it there.
気持ちね。ちょっとまっすぐだから。バックライン。12半ぐらいで。そうだね。2個ぐらいは。
Earlier on in the week, we would have bet on her making these shots, but there's a little bit of uncertainty. They're in a nice position and looking quite relaxed.
Well, they can be all smiles right now. They're forcing, just in her first playoff appearance, Fujisawa play this with their last shot. Well, they have to move it back. Does it have the weight to move it far enough? Tap it back, get their one, and just enough.
It worked out this time. A bit of relief, I'm sure she's feeling. Japan do have a point on the board after 3 ends. Japan 1, Switzerland 2. Welcome back to our live coverage at the Ford World Women's Curling Championship 2016. That is the mascot, Slider, doing his stuff, getting the audience hyped up in between ends here. Everybody having a great time.
Yeah, full house again. Good energy in the building.
All ages. Lots of folk dressed up. Fantastic atmosphere.
Second time that Swift Current has played host to these Worlds. Good crowds as they were in 2010.
And then the hush ensues as we start off this fourth end.
Yeah, very knowledgeable crowd too. You just hear some of the conversations, and not just talking about their home country, Canada, and their team, but this Japanese team and how good this Swiss team is, and Swiss curling winning 3 of the last 4, trying to go 3 in a row.
And they have certainly started this game very, very well indeed. Looking a lot more assured at this stage. We know how it can change.
Last time one nation has won 3 women's world titles in a row was Canada in '86. Through '84, '85, '86, and '87, they won 4 straight with 4 different skips.
And in modern times, becoming increasingly more difficult, more countries coming on board. Quality of the play, standard of the play going up every single year. We have the 3rd versus 4th page playoff. And let's see the Rovers Russia against Chelsea Carey of Canada. All that to come. Marika Yoshida, 84% for the tournament. As the game progresses, we'll see how she fares.
Well, the come around by Switzerland just a little bit deep. Not quite hitting it on a little right angle to push it all the way out. So wide open chance to play the hit.
Christine Uhrig, the lead, 83%. Yuri Suzuki, whole tournament 86%. They've just been a little bit off so far, Team Japan, in this game.
Yeah, it can be some nerves sometimes. You get out there, the adrenaline gets flowing, you play a good first end, you get a force, think, okay, we can get our 2 in the second. It was a shot that Fujisawa would tell you she should make. But a tougher shot in the 3rd to get her 1, so feet are definitely under her now in this one.
Kaufman 86%, fantastic play from her this week.
Just the lone guard out in front, and Japan trying to get a force. We're good in the force game as well throughout the week. Mala hit, roll over in front of the other one.
No, that is lovely.
It's a long roll, not quite in the front, but beside it, so it becomes a little trickier for Switzerland to maneuver. They haven't had that many stressful shots. It's been the Swiss putting the pressure on Japan making theirs. This gets nice and close.
Yeah, just be a little bit more in front. That would have just been perfect. But a great effort.
Wat? 14, 14-2. Jo. Goed. Hier. Oh, nog een nacht. Is voor de nacht. Is die. Wechselen, Seite wechselen, kriegen wechselen. Hij werkt genoeg. Nimm noch ein bisschen hierhin. Der Carla. Fest, Carla.
Well, sometimes with one sheet too, the ice conditions you're used to the whole week have changed a little bit. There's less airflow out there, or more airflow because the other games aren't going on beside you. Again, we've seen these type of crowds throughout the week, so that's no surprise.
Yeah, there are all sorts of variables that can have an impact, even the smallest thing. Chinami Yoshida, 89% for the whole tournament.
Well, a little miss sweep go. They're trying to get to it. They're trying to use the sweeping to get it to curl. Instead, could have got off it and went around that stone. Here at this point, get off it. They could have tried to hold the line. Just touches it over.
Iron Shiori, there's an impressive start for you. 87%. The Swiss third.
Well, unable to sit in there a second shot. They had a chance to lie two.
Each player has their own individual build-up to the shot and their delivery. Oh, that was a sneaky one pass there.
Well, they needed a couple of those shots. Just play around that guard, quiet weight, use the sweeping. Closing in that scoring zone. Now the forefoot has shrunk. Well, two choices here for the Japanese side. You can throw the guard. You could go and remove that yellow and try and play for the force. But you miss hit that one a little bit. And you give a chance for even more to bring those other ones into play.
Suki Fujisawa, 86% for the tournament. She's been a bit off in this game so far, though.
Well, aired on the right side of missing that one. You'd rather leave open part of your red stone than over curl it and leave it room for them to punch that one with the out turn out.
Yoshida working hard there to get that into position.
Ja. Ja, aber dann kommt sie von dieser Seite her, oder? Was tun wir da hin? Ja. Gehen wir dort?
Dort einen drauf rein.
Machen sie auch nicht einfach
Vorne
zu und
nach.
denken, ja, und sie fragen nicht mehr, was ihnen macht.
Guck, wir hätten ja schon noch
Da ist es nicht so schlimm. Ja, ja. Du musst zuerst den noch herkommen. Genau, ja. Das ist nicht so einfach. Vor allem rollt sie eher nach Hause. Also wenn er Ja, genau kommt, dann wird ja, es gleich sicher. immer noch. Probieren wir bis da und wenn er da ist, ist okay. Ja. Wie viel ist?
Immer so viel.
Die Seite kommt weniger.
Well, dangerous stone in this case is that red one, top of the 8-foot biting four for Japan, knowing that they can't go peel the guard now because then Japan would play that red-yellow to lie 3. Here trying to take that away, but also bring another one in.
Ja. 13, 8 ist schon da. Die haben weniger gespielt.
Ja.
Swiss bench.
Ich glaube, das Girl hat da weniger, tut er nicht zu fest. Noch ein bisschen weniger.
A lot to think about with this shot.
Bis 3,
Binia Felcher
8,
will skip 79%, slightly down on her teammates.
Yeah, but it's 96 on the game so far here.
But she started this
Alles, 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 alles.
and continued a good form. Where is this going to finish?
Well, this one is going to over curl. They're hoping to take away that short little one. Might still just be there. Question is whose third shot as they look at it.
食べるだけないようにだね。ね、薄く当たったらさ、完璧隠れるし、厚く当たるんだっ
So
たら、
let's take a look. Japan
俺より
ahead.
後ろに下げた方
Switzerland
がいいよ
yellow.
ね。A がちょっと薄く当てる。ここに4分の1ぐらいが3分の1かな。3分の1だったらシューターもしかしてちゃんと残るもんね。オッケー。上とちょっと落ちないようにするか。10。上がるっけこっち。
Well, it looks like third shot is that yellow stone at the top of the house.
10だね。
Going to play in turn, try and go red-yellow.
離すわ。
Quiet wait, roll their shooter off to the side.
プッシュ入でいい？
Try and leave them even so there's no double also. A delicate shot because you want to hit as much as you can, but not flirt with that top yellow.
Getting that balance.
おー、クリーン近いよ。クリーン。やっ。クリーン。クリーン。
Well, make the hit. Will they sit for a second shot? And it'll roll right out. Now, with second shot, is there anything to try and bring that one into play? Or just draw to the button?
あ、ナイス。クリーン。そうだね。2点はないね。でもあっちの方が強くない？そうだね。
Not quite there, and she knows it.
So it doesn't have a choice but to put it on the tee line. Full 4, piece the button for 1.
Nog steeds nur einer.
Das sind die drei anderen noch einen.
Okay. Ist gut.
Also vielleicht noch 2.
13, 8 T-Line.
Ja, jetzt haben wir mehr Eis.
Ist gut.
Look at that lineup of 3 stones perfectly in front of one another.
So last throw of the fourth.
Gut, Utze.
And the Swiss skip.
Hinter mir.
She hopes to secure 1 point.
Well, was short on her first draw. This one looks good if it can get past that red.
And it does. There were the reaction from the Swiss fans in the crowd. Secures that point. No worries, really, she says. Good sweeping again. Smells all round in the Swiss camp after 4. Extend their lead. Japan 1, Switzerland 3. Welcome back to our live coverage of the Ford World Women's Curling Championship 2016. This is the situation in this playoff game, 1 versus 2. Switzerland leading the way, going into the 5th end. Good crowd inside the Credit Union Iplex watching. Switzerland get us back underway.
Well, we've seen Christine come a little deep with a couple of these as they try and get it to the center line. And that one better. We've seen a couple deep in the house. Japan and Fujisawa put the corner guard out in front, try and generate there too. We're good throughout the week doing it. We'll need to do so again.
Claire just watching the line of this stone, hoping it's going to finish where they want it to finish, just above the Ford logo.
Zwei ist gut. So, Görle. Wechseln, Brent. Nur 2. Gut, Görle. Viel Görle. Nimm ihn noch rein. Gut, super. Sehr schön.
Well, first 2 in. Switzerland likes to do this. When they have the lead, they get up 2. They put the first 2 stones into the house and lead rocks. Well, looking for the hit. Now roll off to the side.
あいや
Sticks around, so a stone that Switzerland will have to go after.
あ9.1 お早い
Seen this type of setup a few times in the game so far.
Push forward, Tia. Tia. Ja. Nog niet. Goed. Sehr schön. Schön. Nu nach Hause.
Well, Switzerland just so precise with their hits. They don't miss on those.
Goed zo.
うん
Nu nach Hause.
ちょっとタイトだよウェイトちょっと待てるわあいいよライもいいよあちょっと8ありそうだわあちょっとタイトだけどね8あるよ曲がりすぎちゃうけど後ろで2作る後ろになるわ使えるように後でナイス
Well, if this looks familiar, almost the identical setup to 2 ends ago.
It is.
I don't know if there's quite as much room for Kaufman to make that.
Guard. Is goed.
Remember, she went through that channel, that pathway.
Acht.
We're clearly thinking there's not enough room. Let's go out, play the smart, safe call, and get rid of the guard.
Yep, they're in a nice position. They don't have to be too adventurous at this stage. Away goes the guard.
And then decision of Japan, how they play it. The guard, or you try and hit the roll and split the house early.
1時半ぐらい
Just feel they haven't quite got going yet at all. Another end goes by.
2半ありそうさっきよりちょっと滑るちょっと待ってちょっと曲げたいブレーキ欲しい2半いいよ2半ウェイトはいいよクリーンそのままでいい曲がっちゃうあいいや
Replace the guard.
Ja.
Might have actually curled a bit more that they can try and play the in-turn to tap it out.
Vliegt naar hier. Feedback. Tia. Tia.
Irene Shkori.
Feed.
Very good water skier in her spare time, although I don't know when she gets much spare time.
Well, crashes on the front. They knew that was not. They were going to play it tight. That it was an option. Not actually roll in to lie first and second. But just smart recognition from Felcher, showing her experience there.
インサイドアウトから行く9分で
See how patient Japan stays.
10でいいよオッケー
You're seeing a very patient approach by Binya Felcher. 2-point lead.
いいよ10近いよ10前半ゆりごめん
Well, rolls over the top.
Dat is ook niet slecht. Ja.
He's hoping to sit in front.
Is goed.
Irene Shkori's second stone.
Well, she didn't miss much in their round-robin game. Makes the nose hit to lie 2.
Again, works in forensics, so she knows about attention to detail for sure.
Was a two-time world mixed doubles champion to go along with her world women's curling championship title in 2014.
Yep, she's got a few trophies and medals sitting at home. Been on this team for 4 years, and they've been very successful.
Well, nothing out front, trying to make these hit and rolls and need to be precise. And just a little bit off on some of them. And that's the difference when you're playing a defensive game, just eliminating stones like Switzerland is. You don't have to be on that exact millimeter where you are if you're trying to make the perfect hit and roll.
Ja, also machen wir Nase. Komm Nase. So, 10 Minuten. Ja. Wenn wir den festgärlen, nehmen wir so und das Nase. Ja. Gehen wir auf Nase.
Binia Belcher heads back up
Ja.
to the other end of the sheet.
Ein bisschen weniger.
Competed in the Olympic Games in 2006 and won silver. So much experience.
Those angles just don't line up for Japan right now. They're not setting up to try and get your two. Even that scenario, smile on her face.
Yeah, it's like 50-50 decision.
やってこうでも悪くないけどね。
ああ、そうだね。
ね。必ずシューターは欲しいもんね。
これやったとしてもさ、
多分こっちね。
飛んじゃうから。
She does sound a little choked up in her voice, doesn't she?
むしろこっちの方がいいか
A bit of a cold.
そうだね。こっちにする？
ね。どう思う？
こう。これ難しいよね。こうするか。こうなったら相手どうする？
ね、ガードするか、ワンパー作るか。
ね、
これでいい。
ね、10？こうストレートだったっけ？
ストレート。
Well, decision made after team all headed down, took a look. I think just trying to hit and roll in front, trying to size up the angles if they could play it thin, push, and basically get all three of the yellows.
So here she goes.
Well, catch it thin and in between.
It is just not happening for Japan at the moment at all. Here's a groan from the crowd too. Look at that. Very close to the other yellow, but
A hit and just through.
and out.
Well, not a surprise seeing this Swiss team play as well as they have so far in the game. They have played what they needed to, made some great shots. We'll peel that out.
Yep, no bother at all for them. Yeah, no wonder she's smiling at the moment. Very much in control of this game.
Well, Japanese team throughout the week has been good with the hammer. And as the coach tries to teach a team, score multiple points with the hammer and get forces. Well, Japan has been doing that all week long, have yet to generate that so far in this game. I'm going to have to play again for another single point.
Last over the fifth end before they head into the break for a team talk and chat from their coach. See if they can generate a little bit more than they've done so far. They do secure that 1 point with that one single red there. And they're hanging on in this game a little bit. Lots of work to do. Switzerland very much in control. Japan 2, Switzerland 3 going into the break.
Third end of this one, and a tough shot with the last stone. Satsuki Fujisawa out-turn, try to come back with a quiet weight hit. This to get her team on the board. And just like that, tap it back just far enough, get their one. Japan on the board in the third end. After a nice little last rock hit and rolled out by Japan, Binya Felcher and Switzerland have to put this full forefoot to get their single point. Well, as this one continues to curl, it curls and spins off right to the button. So Switzerland, high fives, they get their one. And Switzerland continuing to force Japan. Not able to get anything mounted offensively. Fujisawa has this hit and stick. Take a single point. And just like that, right on the nose. So that leaves us a 3-2 game in favor of Switzerland, and they have the hammer to start the second half of this 1-2 game.
Just make sure we all come together, right, and make sure we all have a good weight call, good line call, and be okay. Okay?
いいショットなんだけど、若干ちょっとずつずれてるのはウエイトのミスから来てるから、ウエイトのちょっとしたズレから来てるから、そこもみんなでコミュニケーションを取ってカバーしながら、投げても合わせるように、でスイーパーもずれてたら言うように、でラインボールもそれによって速くなる。
Oh, baby. Oh, baby.
I'll look at the numbers through 5 ends of play in this page 1-2 game. 3-2 the score. Advantage Switzerland 93% as a team and 98% on their hits. One stolen point, a draw that was missed by Fujisawa, and she had been solid all week long, only giving up 2 steals, but one happens here in this 1-2 game. Sets up for a fun final 5 ends of play here in the playoffs of the 2016 Ford World Women's Curling Championship. Look at the playoff format here, as it is Switzerland, Japan in that 1-2 game we're watching right now. Winner straight to the final, loser into the semi, while Russia, Canada will play the loser of this one, and then the loser of the 3-4 and the loser of the semifinal will play for bronze on Sunday to determine the 2016 World Champions. Well, look, teams having some fun coming in. It's all smiles early until the steal in the second, but they come back with their smiles later. This Japanese team, lots of fun to watch, lots of smiles. But Switzerland showing their experience, that they've been there, done that, know what it's like. We are set for some more fun here inside the Credit Union Iplex. Luke Coley, Allison Walker. Quick moving first 5 ends between Switzerland and Japan. Japan trying to get their first ever World Championship medal. They need one more win, whether it's today to guarantee a medal, tomorrow in the semi if they lose this one, or if they lose both of them, and then in the bronze medal game. One win. They'd love to get it right now.
So here we go for part 2, if you like. This playoff game, 1 versus 2. Japan 2, Switzerland 3. And the team talks, differing team talks, I would think, look, between the 2 countries.
Well, we got to listen in just in the 5th end break there. That was Coach J.D. Lin for Japan saying, just all come together, focus on the line, focus on the weight, and then the sweep call. We'll be good. Just do what we've been doing all week long. Whereas some extracurricular activities for Switzerland going on, watching a draw to the button contest on another sheet with some of the fans. So very loose, very jovial, but that's what we expect to see out of the Switzerland team. They don't take anything too seriously, but they execute. When they're having fun and loose, that's when they play better.
That's what happened a couple of years ago when they won here in Canada. Always difficult for other countries to win in Canada. Take something extra special.
Well, I like this call right now. You see that one back 12 foot. That's not really a risky stone against Japan. Switzerland does have the hammer, so asking for a second center line guard. Well, not really the position they wanted of those 2 center line guards.
Good crowd inside the Iplex, as you can see. Been enjoying the action. Hope you have too.
Sicher vorne. Ja, fast gleich. Gar nicht. Ja, zieh lang. Ist gut, besser. Ganz lang. Schlang. Noch nicht schlaglänge. Achtung. Ja. Mit dem Anfang. Mit Görle. Mit dem Anfang. Nein, du musst nicht Görle.
She doesn't know which way around to go there.
They're going to spin herself dizzy as it goes top 4 foot.
Sure, Japan can see most of that.
Well said. As we see Team Italy and some fans getting some selfies in.
Yep, a few of the teams in tonight watching the action. Second player, Yumi Suzuki.
Well, touches that front guard, trying to get by, make that hit and roll, and facing two already.
Yeah, and things which were coming off earlier on in the week are not coming off in this game at all for Team Japan.
Just catches it. Throughout the week, that got breaks. Had been getting by that guard. Here, unable to.
Iverina! Was willst du denn machen? Iverina! Aber wieso willst du nicht? Ja, nachher gehen wir auf Null. Ich finde es eigentlich nicht so schlechte Chance. Gut. Etwas draus machen. Ich glaube, noch 14-1. Sicher? Wenn wir da öffnen, dann nimmt sie noch den Weg. Ja, ja. Und das bringen wir immer bei ihr. Da, 8! 14-1.
And Switzerland perhaps having to alter their next shot plan because they maybe didn't expect Japan to miss that one.
Well, they elect to play into the house again. I thought maybe they'd peel those two centers, an important end to score. Sensing an opportunity to go after it.
98% for this game. Franziska Kaufmann, she has not made one mistake. Shots have been spot on.
Only thing, don't want to create a pocket with these. Little tap.
Team Sweden in to watch the action. Disappointing week from their point of view. Came quite good at the end, but too little too late. We always expect them to be in these kinds of positions, 1 versus 2 or 3-4, but not this week, not to be.
It's the first time ever Sweden finished with 7 losses at a World Women's Championship. So unfortunately, that'll go along with them.
They will have that horrible record. I'm sure they'll be back next year to sort it out.
Well, they just get by, make the double. Wow, they almost swept that too much with the sweeping with the curl to get a little bit more movement. They just feather the front.
It's a bit more like it from Team Japan. Let's take another closer look. Pretty close.
Sweeping and then switched at the hog line to hold the line.
We haven't heard much of their giggling and laughing this week after shots, rather today as opposed to earlier on in the week.
Well, an important one now for Kaufmann back. Careful of the jam in the back. Oh, nice delicate touch. And again, Kaufmann, she has all game. Avoids the jam, little roll, and perfect.
Perfectly executed.
Yeah, Switzerland only 2 losses this week. 1 to Canada early and then Russia as well. The 2 teams that are playing that 3-4 game tomorrow.
Yoshida 80% for this game. Not as good as she's been previously.
Trying to draw around and
there's no way that was going to make it.
no, just are not on right now. They have to continue to keep battling.
88% for Anishori.
Niet te veel plaats. Vier, vier, acht. Viel plaats.
Schön nach.
Deze.
Schön nach.
Well, this one
Okay.
maybe got caught up looking at the line of that past one from Japan that got a little bit closer and took off to the center. Goes back 12 foot. Well, after back-to-back misses, Japan needs this one. Well, they knew they could play that out turn and use the backing if needed. And that one good enough to really eliminate all the other stones because it's shot.
Ja, zie je richting. Volledig in. Nee, volledig niet. Vijf.
Valspisser.
Ga weg, ze hebben hem goed.
Superlänge.
Richting super.
T-line.
Hoe is het? T-line, dan hem.
Following a very similar line, isn't it? Where's it going to finish?
It's going to come well down. Look at the curl at the end. Goes back 8 foot.
If you think where that started from
See
and where it is now.
This is the change in the sweeping this year with the way teams are going at it and using the outside sweeper to sweep it in with the curl.
Look at that.
Always see late finish, but this one, enormous, well past both those guards and will curl past that top 12-foot stone. Look at where that one sits. Japan needs to get something going in their favor right now, and Fujisawa make this really change the...
We're not used to seeing that 75% of Fujisawa. Similar line again. Where is this one going to finish?
Well, that one wraps right around back 4 foot without the sweeping at the end, and they wanted to see if it would curl, be in front.
A bit more of a smile this time. That was nicely done too.
Definitely seeing a nice curl finish on that out-turn draw side. Well, we've seen this a couple times, and Felcher now follow it down.
What a great view that is.
Sometimes you get in this situation where you know you have that backing. You overthrow it a little bit, knowing you have it. So important to throw this one to her sweepers, allow them to work. 98% for Felcher.
Definitely on song today. The sweepers are going to have to work here, look, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to get there. But better finishing in that spot than coming and bouncing off that red and leaving a huge pocket for Japan to get into. That one can be tapped up still.
So not Not disastrous by any means. Look at all those stones involved.
パッと1個は見えてる。3分の1ぐらい。
Looking at both sides here.
閉じるか、ここで取っちゃうかだね。
どっちがいいと思う？こっちから入れるか。この相手タップあるなら前の方がいいと思うんだよね。
こっちはゆりかこっち好きだけどね。ね、ここ入っちゃえば相手ちょっとプレッシャーはプレッシャーだよね。
Where the broom is on the top of the button, that one, we really have to work to get around that one to go to the top of the lid.
でもさ、ここになっちゃうとさ、相手がさ、逆にやりやすくなっちゃうんだよね。
だったら持ってきちゃった。
ああ、いいと思う。でも相手も難しいからさ、簡単な
Wonder
方
what
を
the
前
bench
にされて
thinks.
もいいかなとも思うけど。
あー、まあ確かに最後ここにかけなきゃいけないもんね。
They've got it sussed.
1個投げたね。
While looking at options as well.
こうなっちゃうのはよくない。ね、これだったらもしかしたらでもまあ2点もあるかもしれないね。
Always easier to do when you're sitting up here, though.
JD says, always harder to decide when I first started coaching to be on the bench because you always
このタップありそう。
want to get out there, but now he's been coaching for a few years, more comfortable knowing that he has no impact on that. It's up to them out there.
Yeah.
うちらが簡単なのはこあでもどっちも同じくらいか。
Having a good look at it now.
どっちも同じくらいだと思う。さっちゃんどっちがいい？
あ
どっちから見て。
かけていいのかなって思って。あっちに行って見てみてもいいし。
で B プランで最悪ワンツーになればいいんだよね。ここでもいいんだ。
Redstone counting at the moment.
Well, the one draw we saw on this side came up short in front, and now looks like they're going to try and go around that one.
そんなに見えない。
そうなの。ドローの方が簡単。
Said Japan had only given up 2 steals all week, but Switzerland giving up 12. Look from the hack and
ここ6だけど、B でね5でもいいよ。
9ぐらいでいいかな。ちょっと重め。
8でも悪くないわ。
9？
So here we go after all that deliberation.
いいよ、ラインいいよ。ウェイトだけ。
Haven't seen too many stones come down this side.
will be a little bit slower.
Is it struggling a bit?
Well, they'll try and drag it as far as they can. Don't think they got it there for a second, but Eureka Yoshida just put her head down and went. Wow.
Great effort.
By coming up a little bit short, now there's a chance at the little tap. Had to get this a half a rock deeper to be second shot. So this out-turn tap to avoid the steal is Felcher might have saw something from the other end.
So he's heading back up. Just have another quick look.
Gaat niet. Huh? Maar daar erop schiessen, het gaat niet.
Busy house.
Daar niet naar de perfect om naar terugkomen, niet? Okay, it's fine.
Saw something, came down, took a look, didn't like it. I think she was looking at if she could play that red guard out in front on the right-hand side, run it back into the yellow and maybe sort of pinball and get a couple of the reds out for a bigger end. Just this out-turn tap.
So that was too risky, was it? I can see how that would have worked. What would you do, folks out there?
the lead and hammer. A score here would be big.
Last stone of this sixth end.
Well, tap it. And too much weight.
And a break for Japan here. It's just the one. But it's still a big help in their cause. Tapping just too hard. And away it goes. Round of applause from the crowd as we get back underway here in the seventh end. Maybe a little break there in the previous end to get Japan back on track. 3-3, and this 1 versus 2 playoff game. First mistake we have seen from Binia Felcher.
Well, rock placement's going to be key. They've had a few that have been deep behind the tee line. Well, that's good rock placement early. Put that stone in front of the tee line. Japan gets their steal they had earlier on, so.
Pendulum swinging slightly back towards them.
And a score in the even ends. Still just the sixth end, 4 to play, but you start looking, you get a force here, you score in the eighth end, you can be in sort of a control position of the game. But miscue there, chipping that one, rolling away. Early advantage now for the Swiss. Oh, but they can't. Big difference rolling out or sticking around.
Around 2,800 people inside here watching this game. To your left, that's the media bench. And all the journalists, reporters sit analysing every aspect of the game, writing about it. copy to go around the world.
Wow, didn't think they had enough to throw that kind of weight at it, and they sit top of the button. Some of those in the media bench talking about it, like you and I, Allison.
Did we're up there, folks, with an absolutely fantastic view, as do you, wherever you're watching this.
Oh, little tap, sits in behind, very nice. Just good weight control. Able to just push that one back.
Yep, she's done her job.
Look at that little roll, able to be just in behind. Well, this one really diving. We've seen this a few times. Splits that front, opens up the Yellowstone, but it is Switzerland lying one.
Drüb. Wat die Länge. Richtige Spurt, bis die Line.
Second stone for Kaufmann. Just a delicate tap. Her first.
Now it's their turn to try and sneak past the front, and they won't. I think they closed up that hole to not leave. Shot stone. It is tight.
It's possible.
I think this gives them a better chance to play the force if you play the come around. Play the front and you touch one of the guards, you open it up. Give a chance to get the deuce for Switzerland. Well, must figure there's a hole. We will find out.
Risky.
I think it's just there. Have to be perfect.
Watch this line, folks. Follow down the center line.
Stand corrected playing the run, and they run it and roll that one out.
And that was nicely done.
That's the shot she was making all week long, and the usual hand up acknowledged. Thanks. Good line call, skipper.
Super stuff.
Curl up a little more, they stick the shooter, but right now they lie one back 12 foot.
Oh, kriegen ihm noch. Nimm noch. Weit hinter. Weit. Okay.
さっちゃんそれで8まである？ちょうどボトム空いてる。13.8 ぐらいかな。
Let's see what she can come up with this time.
Well, called for T-line weight.
ないわ。ちょっと落ちたわ。あるよ。ゆり。
Doesn't like this one as it's just running, not curling at all.
This one's gone, isn't it?
結構落ちちゃってる
It's away.
めっちゃなんぼだった
That's about 10 feet too heavy, trying to get that one to the
ほ
button.
ぼほぼなんぼだった 12.9 4秒だって超滑ってるね
So a huge opening now for Switzerland.
Sicher vorne 8.
8. Achtung.
Er ist bis 4.
In dem Fall nichts. Bis T-Line.
Achtung, bremst.
Ziehen, kriegen.
Ja.
Hey, komm. Oh.
Sehr schön.
Sehr schön.
Just keeping an eye on it till it reaches the forefoot and then finishing a little bit short.
Well, world champions know when to make those shots and how to capitalize on a miss, and that's in a great spot because it's partially protected.
11でいくね
Just done with it just a bit further behind.
Basically hit what you can see. You have a chance to make this double.
近いよ
Won't catch that back
Gets
one. I don't think they could have cut that any tighter to that front to be able to make that double. There's enough separation between those Swiss stones that a great shot by Japan still leaves an opening to lie two.
So close to that guard. They couldn't have got any closer to try and get that second.
Oder da ein bisschen probieren.
Dann macht sie den Doppel. Also entweder wäre ich Nase oder dann wäre ich nicht, dass er wieder da liegt.
Nehmen wir eine Nase. Das macht sie nachher den da. Das finde ich auch nicht angenehm, oder?
Ja. So, Zahni.
Sie noch der Fries. Ja, wenn der nicht, dann ist nur Nase.
Well, I think nose hit's pretty good in this stage. Forces a hit and roll to be made. You try and make the roll yourself, you leave a double.
Kurz! Kurz jetzt hier!
Komm mal hin.
Hier! Oh! Renzi! Alles! Oh! Hier! Fisch!
Oh, just a little bit of a roll. Enough to lie 1-2.
Gut gesehen.
Gleich spät.
Sie haben gut angesagt.
Ja. Ja.
Gut gespielt.
Is there a way here?
Well, you can play the double and do that, or put it right on the button in front. Really close in the rings. Playing that does bring a possible 3 into play. This think the double. I don't know. May need more if she's playing the draw, but definitely not the weight. Trying to just come to that one back forefoot. Well, calling for help. And that one coming up well short, meaning the opening is there to score 3.
A major mistake from Japan here. This could be the pivotal end in this playoff game. What an opportunity for Switzerland here.
I know the draw was tempting, but I don't know if it was. In that case, you hit. Worst case, you're giving up 2. Yes, there's a risk of the jam in the back, but there's also you make the double and get a force out of it.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what they're saying to each other now after the event. So last door of this 7th end. How many, basically, is the question.
Well, they scored a 3 in their round robin game. So they won 7-4 over Japan.
This one looks good. Nicely done. You can hear the Swiss bells. Beautifully done by Binia Felcher. It is a score of 3 in this end, in this 7th end. Yeah, no wonder they're smiling. Bit of a gift in the end, but she still had to make it. Japan will have to regroup in the 8th. But right now it's all looking very good for Switzerland indeed after 7. Japan 3, Switzerland 6. You're watching live coverage from the Ford World Women's Curling Championship 2016. We're live in the Credit Union Iplex in Swift Current, Saskatchewan in Canada. Alison Walker and Luke Coley bringing you all the action in this playoff game between Japan and Switzerland. 1 versus 2 from the round robin. And there's a scoreboard behind. And it looking pretty good for the Swiss team at the moment. 6-3 up, running out of ends.
And just 3 points scored so far by Japan in this game. Lowest they scored in a win this week was 6, and their 2 losses they scored just 4.
Couldn't have predicted that there would be that kind of scoreline from previous games here, but that is the reality. Nice comparison of the leads. Actually not too much to choose. Yoshida is ahead.
Well, Christine now has to defend against her first stone going into the house. They're going to come top of the 4-foot. The slight mistake early in the end.
Super gut. Schön.
And Japan try and fight back, score their 2. Get right back in it. Have to stick to what's been working for them throughout the week. Make the draw.
いいよー。ちょっとあれば後ろ行けよ。当てるよ。8だ。8。いいよ、落ちてきたわ。あ、でも8あるわ。
Switzerland can't let off the gas, though. They've been playing a solid game so far. We just have to continue to execute.
3 up though, they can just concentrate on the basics, do them well.
Well, they play this game very well, as does Japan, so it was a matter of who would get out in front, who'd score that big end. And
getting rid of that guard and nearly catching that other one, the red stone.
but by doing that, leaves a guard still for Japan to come around, bring another red counter into the rings. Look at the seconds numbers. Kaufman still brilliant. They're hoping to get a little rub with the amount of weight on this. We'll just touch off that back one. That one, without touching that red, was going to be through the house.
It was away, wasn't it? It was gone.
Well, they do pick stones that they want, and I wonder if they picked one that was going to be a little quicker and just not managing it. Well, Switzerland trying to eliminate stones and keeps leaving that lone red stone in play.
Stone placement for Japan has been so good all week. They need some of that imagination. They need it to come off, that's the other thing, to get themselves back into this game.
Oh, really got to go to get a bye. Another one that just took off and touches the front. I think I've seen more wrecks on the guard in this game by Japan than the whole week.
And throughout the team as well. It's not just one player. I bet they can't understand why it's not working either.
Time out.
Yep, you can hear. Just wants a bit more time to think about this important stage in the game, isn't it?
It's an important point. I think right now you peel with the outturn that yellow guard and get rid of it.
Der is nog wel heikel en ik niet hangen blijven oder so.
Die würde jetzt einfach nicht.
Nein, nein.
Ja,
genau.
Das ist nicht drin.
We're ahead, so let's try and keep it as simple as we can.
Yeah.
So I think
If
if
we
we,
open this, we have to.
well, you could peel this red one out that way. If you peel it this way, there's a danger you could jam it on something and leave them second shot.
We don't like that one.
We're already sitting 2. What are you going to
Yeah,
do?
but
What are you going to do with this one?
it opens the
Peel
back
it this
one.
way?
Yeah.
Peel it that way, I don't mind. I don't mind peeling that one this way.
Yeah. This way.
Yep. Let's just try and keep it simple.
You like
Okay?
that?
Yep, I like that.
Come on.
Good advice from Al Moore. Assertive, clear,
Well, that's sort of what I was thinking. It's tough to peel that red tight one. Lying 2, peel that corner, get rid of it. And peel it with the out turn.
Well, here she goes. After the instruction from the coach.
Sehr schön.
後ろにフリーズか
これ
うん
でもこれフリーズしちゃうとさ後からこっちやりづらいんだよね
そっか
ちょっと押すかな
オッケー
早くこれでも悪くないよ
はい
ウェイト78
4.1ぐらいかな
Well, they haven't been as crisp. But Japan, they can get a 2 in this 8th end. Can battle back. Well, they're hoping to angle it so they can get at that 1, but now the angle that's set up, it doesn't go onto that 1 in the 4-foot.
Ja, Nase finde ich auch okay. Gleich lang. Plus 9. Ja.
Nothing quite working out for them as planned.
Okay, gut gespielt.
Away goes that other red.
ごめんちょっとブレイク噛むとこ重たかったねもう少しちゃんとセットするようにする
Well, they need to get something in there. Need to get second shot right now. If you can split that top one, push it into the 8-foot, roll your shooter in 2. You could lie 2 and 3 if you make this one.
8ぐらいでいいか
Yeah, they must be feeling quite good, those two right now. 6-3 lead.
Yoshida at 71. She never played a game lower than 83 this whole week.
And that has been key. One of the main reasons why they're 6-3 down. What about this one?
Well,
It's
try
going to
to
catch.
Nice.
And will be second and what looks like
なんぼだった
4th shot.
どれぐらいまでだった
Nein, ich glaube, Nase ist glaub gut, oder? Irgendwie so ist nicht, hä? Nein.
Finde ich nicht gut.
Ich finde Nase gut, ja.
Jetzt raus können wir, wenn wir wollen. Gleiche Rolle.
Sie macht nachher da, oder?
Können wir noch
Vielleicht da noch irgendwie.
Ich würde jetzt gleich auf den gehen.
Ja. Nase?
Ja.
So?
Viermal den gut zu machen.
Ja.
Important to stay in the 8-foot. Making this hit. Might leave a double. But 3rd shot is that one in the back of the 12-foot. Switzerland would love to get a force in this 8th end. That 3-point lead.
Comparison of the skips.
ちょっと中入った方がいい
86% to Binya Felcher, 73 Fujisawa overall. Strange to see that kind of start with Fujisawa.
ちょっと2フット曲がるよね
最
Just not used to seeing it.
ちょっと幅取る大丈夫。バックライン12半ぐらいかな。
Try and make this double to bring, see if they can bring that back, or the side redstone into play.
8ぐらい。
Going to catch the guard. No, it's past it.
Well, I stand corrected. It wasn't playing the double, just trying to roll underneath. I think they're just shot.
Yep, I think they are.
Trying to just hide that shooter to set up a skip's deuce. Make it tough to remove because of all those stones in the back of the rings.
Und schnell. Also, 9. Ja. Scarlett hat ziemlich. Willst du? Nein, ist gut.
Here you get a fantastic view of what's required.
Clearen.
Knowing that they are second and third, you can just peel this one out. You don't even have to try and hold your shooter.
Well, the results should be quite favourable, whatever.
I'll try and get anything, make sure you get it.
And she did. Well done, Skip, she says.
Well, Japan quickly puts the broom down, play the draw for one. There's that sweeping to get the little curl. Make sure you have enough. Rip it out. Oh, I'm changing now. Play the hit.
Which usually is their preferred option. So, last stone of this 8th end. No problem at all. But it's not what she really wanted, not in the 8th end. Needed a little bit more than that. Okay, way back for Japan. It's just the one shot after 8. Japan 4, Switzerland 6. There's the numbers so far in this playoff game. Well, adds up to a 6-4 lead for Switzerland.
Oh, nice.
Well, they will need to put the center line guards, try and go steal, or steal 2 in one of these ends. Long way back. I know Switzerland has given up steals throughout the event and in this game.
So it can happen, and it does happen. I don't know, the way Switzerland have been playing, let an awful lot go. Not much give in their play. Not much for Japan to take advantage of.
Well, these are important stones. Christine Jurek, side of the button. Well, right down top of the forefoot. Tough to really allow Switzerland even to score 1. In the comeback attempt, giving up 1, you'd have to score 3 in the 10th. Well, there's a miscue. We'll see if Japan can take advantage now. We haven't seen a lot of them.
Very uncharacteristic from Switzerland. Well, are we to see a little bit more drama here yet? All about how you can capitalize.
This one in that same spot is lots of speed. See the Japanese team continuing to try and just get a response from their skip. What did I do? Did I get it out on you? Taking the sweeping right out of play.
Kaufman gets rid of the guard.
Well, they want to put the guard back out in front. Well, it's how important that freeze attempt by Yumi Suzuki was. Ended up bouncing off. And now these guards are protecting a situation that's not that favorable in the house for him.
I'm sure the bench are a bit concerned from Team Japan overall. They have struggled in this game.
Said Switzerland, this Benya Felcher team lost the 1-2 game 2 years ago in St. John, New Brunswick, Canada. Went on to win the World Championship title. Doesn't want to go that route, would rather just have the day off and play on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm sure if she had the choice, she would say, yep, I'll take the win here. Even if it wasn't the same as a couple of years ago. We can win another way.
Well, this peels in the game right now just becoming so easy. You know the peel basically is going to be made every time.
Yeah, they make it look easy though.
So when you do see a miss or a nose hit, you're shocked.
全然落ちてるわ。おお、近いならおうでいいよ。ちょっとさ、もうしてたよ。3。ラインは曲げたいけど近い？3あるわ。最後。最後だけ。やっ。ああ、ナイス。
Well, it's an easy game plan right now for Switzerland. Score with the hammer in 9, avoid the steal. That's why they continue to remove the guard.
Just feel it's been a struggle for this team in this game. Team Japan haven't really looked comfortable in any end, except perhaps that steal in the 6.
Well, the question is, after this guard goes up, what does Switzerland do? Do they go rip the guard knowing they lie at 1, or do they put another guard and protect theirs that way? Well, that's their decision now. Of course, Switzerland has used their timeout.
Proberen we dat erop? Nee, is goed, ja. Wenn wir in der Garde einken, ist ja nicht so schlimm, ja. Aber nicht zu weit raus. Ist das 9, oder wie? Meinst du nicht, wenn ich ein bisschen rauskomme, wenn ich sogar noch mit einem 8 habe? Das Görlet ja schön, die Seite, ne? Das Görlet nicht viel, ist schnell, ne? Weniger.
Bench have their own views. Looking at it close up.
Ja. Warte, ist einfach... Ja. Wenn wir ein bisschen draussen sind, ist auch noch gut. Ja. Aber probieren wir Nase. Nase wäre super, ja.
I think they can get to the nose on this red one and push their yellow back, kick that red one out to the side, and sit shot with their shooter.
Das 9. Gut. Und öffnen ist auch okay. Ja.
Heard them talking about the Nase.
The nose. I'll get to the nose. And they'll do that. I thought they were going to get lucky and keep that yellow, but it spills out.
Everything gone bar one. Past the guard here.
Now, very nice, just well done. Does leave the guard. That's why Switzerland played it. They wanted to open the 4-foot up. They needed to make sure they score. A 2-point lead and hammer in 9. A hit and roll, a must for Japan at this stage. This one,
Yet
again this game.
Yeah, they've been their main source of their problems. That line and catching the guards again. And she knew it, hence all the shouting. Look at this.
Well, knew they couldn't, had to go for the steal. Worst case, the force, the wreck on the guard.
It's been the story of this game.
Hit the paint for 2 now for Switzerland. And a commanding lead and step closer to getting to the final.
Remember, it might not all be over for Japan, even if they lose this game. Last stone of this 9th end. This should be fairly straightforward for Birja Felcher. To secure her 2 points, 2 yellow stones counting. Another 2 on the scoreboard for Switzerland.
And
it
that'll be
is
it.
over. It is over. Japan don't think they can get it back. What a great result for Switzerland and what a fantastic performance, look.
Now Switzerland well played. They've earned their spot in the final on Sunday. Japan will have to drop down to the semifinal, take on the winner of Canada, Russia tomorrow to get to that gold medal game. Switzerland will be in the final. 3rd straight year. Well, a tough loss, and weren't sure what we were going to get from this Japanese team. They knew they had a second life. But Switzerland, all smiles into another final. They'll have a chance to go for 3 straight Switzerland world titles on Sunday. Well, the Swiss celebrate that victory. They are guaranteed a medal going to the gold medal game on Sunday. Felcher, the 2014 world champion, try to win her second. With the family members in attendance and their high performance coach, Armin Harder. Japan was able to put the pressure on Switzerland in the sixth end, and the last stone upcoming. Binja Felcher has the outturn tap, needs to push this one to the forefoot in order to get the single point. Makes good contact, but too much weight, pushes it right through, and it is a steal. And a little life for Japan as they get the steal to tie things up. But right back in the seventh, and a miss draw, well short here as Satsuki Fujisawa barely makes it to the guard out in front and leaves the open draw now for Binja Felcher to her own to get three, crack this game wide open. Sweeper is just a light clean as this one guides in, and a 3-point lead after 7 for Switzerland. And in the eighth, trying desperately to get 2 back. Felcher picked her own, her Japanese stone out, which left the hit for 1. Satsuki Fujisawa hit, roll, take their 1 point, try and fight their way back via the steal. And after trying to go for the steal, giving up the draw for 2, Japan decides we'll rest up and go try our luck in the semifinal tomorrow, losing this one 8-4. So Switzerland picks up the victory over Japan and goes directly to the gold medal game. They will await the winner of the semifinal. Japan will take on Russia or Canada, and the loser of that will go to the bronze, as will the loser of the semifinal. But Switzerland looking to make it 3 straight World Championship titles on Sunday.
And congratulations into the final. How does it feel?
Well, I think there are no words how to describe this feeling. So we are very happy. It's very exciting to have a good medal again. So yeah, it's great.
So what made the difference in this game?
We stayed calm, and I think they were a little bit nervous. I think that was different. We were there 2 years ago. For them, it was the first time, so maybe that was our advantage.
You say you're happy with a medal, but what about a gold medal?
Yeah, gold medal is awesome, but it's not the end of the world to get a silver medal. But we are happy with the silver, and we go for gold for sure.
Congratulations, well done.
Thank you very much.
Well, Switzerland will have a chance for that gold medal on Sunday, and we'll see you tomorrow as the playoffs continue here. For everyone, join us tomorrow for more coverage for the Ford World Women's Curling Championship.
Is that the end?
Yeah.